Okay, welcome to the YouTube video. The weekly tutorial for this week was voted to be the grass physics system. So if you are trying to learn how to make the grass physics system, check it out. So first thing we're gonna do, hop into Blender, and you are gonna have this cube over here. Me personally, I just like to select everything and delete it, and then Shift A to pop the new thing, head to mesh, go to plane, and then you have your plane. Well, whoopsies. So over here you have your plane. We're just gonna rotate this 90 degrees on the y-axis just to make it like that. Okay, hop into edit mode, Control R. We're gonna add a loop cut right in the middle so that we can select all of the vertices on the right side. I mean left side, sorry. And then yeah, we're just gonna delete them. Head to modifiers, search up a mirror modifier. We are going to mirror the plane on the y-axis so that we can make the model for the grass. So over here I'm just gonna add 2 more loop cuts. Okay, that's pretty good. And then now I can start shaping. So I'm gonna delete this one and then select these 2. Okay, never mind. We're going to select all 3 of these vertices and then click F to make this new face. So I'm just going to drag this in, click G and then click Y to make sure it only moves along the Y axis, and then just bring it in a little bit. And then now I'm just going to just make this look like grass. Let me move this one in maybe a little bit. Yeah, let's make it a bit skinnier. I think it should be a little bit skinnier. Just going to move this one in. And I think that's looking relatively like a nice Roblox, not too detailed blade of grass. But as of right now, this thing is completely flat, and that isn't it, bro. So I'm just gonna move these ones out. So I'm just gonna move this one out forward a little bit, just so it is not too linear. Okay, see that now it's curved. And then what I'm also gonna do is move these 3 out, so like the blade of grass is also a little bit curved as well. Okay, so now I'm liking the way that looks, and I think I can call it a day with that. I'm pretty good, pretty proud of that. Okay, just do some little edits that you want to do, and then yeah, now you have your blade of grass. So now that you have your blade of grass, hop out of edit mode and apply your mirror modifier. Good. So now we're gonna need to clone this to make a lot of blade of grasses to make just like a decent patch of grass. Before I do that, like right now, if you were to scale them, it scales along the middle. And every time you clone a piece of grass, you're gonna want to scale it, and you don't want it to scale along the middle. So to make it not do that, we are just going to move it up to like the top of the y-axis. There we go. And then we are just going to hop over here, object, and then set origin to 3D cursor so that the origin is at the bottom. So that now we scale it, it scales the way that we want it to. So yeah, now that we have that, we are going to start cloning our thing. Hop into that top view, Shift D, and clone your guy. After you move it around, rotate it a little bit, scale it down a little bit, just to add some variety. So here's the first 2 beside each other. Now we're just going to repeat. Shift D, move around, rotate, scale maybe up, Shift D, bang, bang. Once in a while, just exit, check how it's looking, just to make sure you're actually proud of what's going on. Okay, so now you have like a decent amount. Now we can select all of this and duplicate that. Then make sure you rotate it and scale it as well. Oh, whoopsies. Like to make sure you rotate on the top view, but if you don't rotate on the top view, click R and then click Z so you rotate it specifically on the Z axis. I like to stay on the top view though, just to make sure none of my things are overlapping. And then after you rotate it, scale it a little bit. Actually, no, we'll do the, yeah, you can scale it now or you can wait till later. It's just a matter of preference. Just try to make sure that your field has some diversity to it. So then now you have another bunch, grab it all and duplicate it again. Okay, so yeah, this is how my field of grass is looking like right now. And if the height is looking like too consistent amongst it, I'll show you guys how to do it that later. When I have a good pair, I want it a bit bigger, so I'm just gonna select everything and just duplicate this 3 times. And then I think that will be enough for me. Okay, here's my patch of grass. Yep, if the height is too consistent, what you can do is just go around, select random pieces of grass, and then scale them down. Make sure you click Z so that it scales them down on the Z axis. Now you can grab some more, maybe scale these ones up on the Z axis, grab some more, and then yeah, just keep on doing that to add some diversity to the thing. As for me, I'm pretty fine with how it looks, so now we're gonna move on to the next step. Now we're going to head into object mode. We are going to select every single piece of grass. You can just click A and then click J. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's Control J. Okay, yeah, click Control Control J to unite them all as one piece. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and rename this guy to grass. So now we need to create the thing that is going to be able to rotate the grass, which is going to be an armature. So Shift A, armature. For that, it's appearing inside the grass, and we don't want that, so we're just gonna hop over here, viewport display, inputs. Okay, so now that we have that, we want to evenly spread this out across this thing. Same thing as before that we were doing for the grass. Just duplicate it, move it around, duplicate this, move it around, bang, 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 bang. And then you don't want this to be too close together. You still want them to be like a decent amount apart, because the more of this, the more individually the grass is going to rotate, but the more of this that you have, the more performance it's going to take up. So just keep that in mind. So then grab this, all of them, rotate it, just spread them out across. Okay, now that you have that, if you see any loose spots, you can just select one bone and then just move it around to those spots that like don't have any bone near them or need some extra control, because these bones are actually what's going to control that rotation. So like the area that bone is in is the area of grass it's gonna control. Okay, so that looks good for me. Now I'm going to hop over here and select all of my bones and join them the same way I did to the grass. Control J. Good. Okay, so now that you have the grass, the armature, you're just gonna select the two of them, Control P, and with automatic weights. Yes, now they are connected and automatically weighted in, but you should check them. Make sure it's rotating the way that you actually want them to rotate, because this is the thing that actually, like, you see how like now if I select that bone, that one rotates. If I select this one rotates. Yeah, that's what I meant by the bones are the ones that's going to control. So having them nicely spread out and a good number of them will give it like a good feel in the game. So then now we are done making the thing. Now it's time to move it to Roblox. Now you're just going to hop into File, Export, and then FBX. That's when you want to export it. But more times than not, it is always going to give you a complaint that there are that there are too many triangles in this model. So the way that you can fix that is not by removing grass, but it's by adding this thing called decimate. Decimate, what it does is that it just reduces the amount of triangles, but the thing will look thing will look slightly weirder. Okay, so hop to decimate, and then you want to reduce this ratio thing. As you can see, if you reduce it all the way to 0, the thing literally just turns into lines. So you just want to pick like a place where like it doesn't reduce the look too much, too bad. I think this is low-key pretty good. I'm just going to turn off my visibility for the armature right now. See how it looks. Okay. It wasn't too bad. Maybe I can go a bit more. No, that's too much. Okay, I'm gonna go 0.45, like around there. That's what I'm gonna go. Okay, so now that that's done, just apply the modifier and you should be good. So save the project, click A to select everything, or just manually select all of this, your choice. A, just selecting these two, all of this, it barely makes a difference, at least I don't think so, but you do you. Anyone, learning by experience is always pretty good. So if it doesn't work, just try it the other way. So for me, I'm just gonna select these two in the game view, head to File, Export, FBX, save it as the grass thing, whatever you want to save it as, you do you. So then after you do that, the settings is you're going to select armature and mesh, because those are the two things we are exporting. And if you selected the things, only export your selected objects. You want to change the Z forward to positive Z forward and change the scale to 0.1. I can assure you, like, this thing is usually so big in the thing. Apply transform if you want, and then export. Okay, now hop into Roblox, go into whatever map that you want, and then what you want to do is you want to head to home and then import 3D. We are not going to import it in the asset manager. We're going to import it 3D because we are importing a model. Head to wherever you imported it as and select it. So all these settings should be fine. If there's anything out of place, yeah, you can remove it, but as for me, they are looking perfectly fine. Okay, after that, just click import. Yep, even as 0.1, it is still ridiculously large, so yeah, scale it down. Okay, get the good height that you want it. That is way too small. And then select anchored, and then remove can collide. You have to go inside and click the grass model to actually do that. And then also select double-sided. Don't forget this, because double-sided, there's some places where you look at one side and you can see it, but you look at the other side, you can't see it. So right now, it's only looking half. Once you click double-sided, that's when it becomes actually full. And also you can set the color maybe just like to whatever you want it to, just make it look a bit more realistic for now. And then yeah, so head into grass, select can collide, turn that off, and yeah, still scale it up to whatever you want it to be. This looks pretty good. So now this height's pretty good. Let's head into scripting. So if you want this to be done on the local side, you can do it on a local script. If you want it to be done on the server side, you can do it on a server script. Your choice. For me, I'm doing it on the server side. So I'm gonna add a script into I'm gonna add a script into server script storage. I'm gonna call it grass sway. So we want to access something called a collection service. This collection service is what is going to allow us to group all of the bones inside the grass and actually do something to them. So before we get started though, let's head into the game, select the grass, and then check this out. There's a lot of bones under here and we want a way to access all of that. It's either, we could go individually to each grass object in our game and for loop through them, or we can just use the game's service called the tag editor. The tag editor, I already went ahead and created one, but let me just delete this. Get new tag, grass, whatever you want to call it. Head into your grass thing, select all the bones all the way to the bottom and click your tag. So now all of these bones have this grass tag on them. So now we can access that in our script, but we also want to access the local tween service. That is how we are going to smoothly go between it being bent over and pause and the thing being straight. So for this, we are going to be having two different tween infos. On the way down, which is going to be tween info in, that's what I'm going to call it, we are going to make the thing go inside linearly, 0.25 seconds as well. enum.easingstyle.linear. The rest will just be the standard in. But on the way out, I want this thing to take a different approach to how it smoothly goes in between it. First of all, I want it to take like around 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds around there, and then I am going to make it do it elastically. As you can see, elastically is going to make it like bounce a little bit, not like bounce, but it's gonna make it like you'll see. But to actually make it look right, we have to make sure that the direction is out. So now we also want to get the grass models that we put in the collection service. So local grass bones is equal to collection service : get tag grass. Good. So now we have all of our grass bones inside this array that the collection service gave to us. So now using a for loop, for underscore in grass bone, for underscore grass bone in pairs grass bones, we're going to do this. Now what this means is that for, it's going to get the index number and then the actual contents of that index number in the array grass bones we have over here. So it's going to do this for every single item inside that array. So what we want to do is we want to put a part inside every single bone. It is going to act as our sensor for when a player has touched that part and to see what direction the player is going to so that we can rotate it in that direction. So to do this, we are just going to create a part called local hits check is equal to instance.new part. We are going to select the transparency equal to 0, hit check.transparency equal to 1, hit check.anchored equal to 1. Actually, I like to set hit check.anchored first so that the part isn't falling down while we're doing all of this in case it lags a little bit. Hit check.can collide equal to false, because we don't actually want to be able to collide it. We just want to be able to check if it's touching. And then hit check.size. This depends on how many bones or how spread apart your bones were in Blender. If they were close together, make the size pretty small. If they were pretty far apart, make it bigger. So yeah. For now, I'm just gonna do 2, 1, 2. Oh my bad. Hit size is equal to new. Oh my, what am I doing? Okay, vector 2.new 2, 1, 2. Okay, now we are going to access the touched events for this thing. Oh wait, we forgot to set the position equal to where the bone is. So hit frame.cframe is equal to the current grass bone.cframe plus, and when adding c-frames, you want to use multiplied. So, but plus the grass bone dot parents c-frame. This is because this c-frame is only relative to the parent c-frame. So then you want to add the parent c-frame which is like its position in the real world. So then after that, we want to access, the touched events for this new part that we just created. So hit text.touched. We are going to connect to that function and do this. So when this thing is touched, we are going to check if it is a humanoid. So local humanoid is equal to, oh yes, we forgot the parameter, other parts, which is going to be the thing that actually touched it. So the humanoid is equal to other part.parent, find first child humanoid. So if humanoid is actually a thing, then we are going to do this. Else, if it isn't, we are just going to return out of the script. So before that, we are just going to set this variable called local other velocity. This will be the velocity of the other part that just hit it, so we can set the rotation of the grass depending on the direction that it's moving. So if it's actually a humanoid, then we are going to set the other velocity equal to the other parts, not linear assembly velocity, but the other, don't mind the suggestions, but if thing actually is a humanoid, and we're going to set other velocity equal to humanoid dot move direction. So after it makes its way down the script, we will now need to set the target rotation for this item. So to set target rotations for tweens, we need to have an array called the tween goal. So local tween goal equal to empty array. Tween goal dot cframe, because when using tweens, the item that we're modifying has to be the exact name of the thing. So this new c-frame that we want to set it to is equal to the current grass bone dot cframe, the current grass bone dot cframe plus this new angle that we're giving it. And this new angle that we're giving it is just going to be around 90 degrees. So let's just illustrate this for a bit. Just think this before I put it down. If the character's move direction is 0, 0, 1, that means that the character is moving forward. And if the character is moving forward, you want to rotate the grass along the x-axis by 90 degrees to make it actually rotate in the way that he's moving, which means that the thing that is controlling the rotation for the x-axis is actually the z components of the velocity. So math.rad, because cframe.angle takes in radians, math.rad other velocity.z multiplied by 90, because that is the velocity that we want it to be. Well, that is the max rotation that we want it to be. If you don't want the max rotation to be 90, you can make it 70. I want the max rotation of the grass to be 90. Then 0 on the y, because we're not rotating the y. And then now let's see what rotates the thing along the z-axis. So pretending your character's velocity was 1, 0, 0 and they're moving right, you would want to rotate the grass along the z-axis, meaning that the thing controlling this one is the x components of the move velocity, or the other velocity. So other velocity.x multiplied by 90. This one isn't 90, it's just a way that Roblox does its rotation. It's going to be negative 90 for this one. So then after we have set that, we can create the tween. Local tween is equal to, okay, this thing actually got it right this time. Tween service.:create grassbone, tween info in, and tween goal. And then we can play the tween. So now we are going to create the out tween. Hit check.touch ended. You're going to connect to that thing and do this function, other parts. But this one, it doesn't matter if we are moving, it doesn't matter, whatever. If the touch thing has been ended, we want it to go back to its original state. So for it to go back to its original rotation, using C-frames, we need to get the current rotation of the item. So local XYZ is equal to, we are going to get the current XYZ rotation of the grass bone in radians, because that's how Roblox does its thing. So grassbone.cframe 2 Euler angles XYZ. And then we are just going to take that rotation out. So tween goal.cframe is equal to the current grassbone.cframe multiplied by negative x, negative y, and negative z. That means that whatever its current rotation is, we are adding on the exact opposite to remove its rotation, which is going to set it back to 0. So then local tween is equal to tween service, but let's see what it suggests this time. Okay, it kind of got it right, except we want to use the out one this time. Tween info out. Oh yeah, I forgot to change that. Okay, so now let's hop in game and see how it looks. Also, before we do that, let's just set the transparency to 0.5. Ooh, let's see. What does that error mean? Unable to assign property size. Ooh, why'd I put vector 2? Whoopsie daisies. Okay, there we go. I am not seeing the parts. Ah, yes, that's because I forgot a major thing. Oh, I don't think I forgot this. But hit check.parent is equal to grass bone. There we go. So then now you can check out the size of your colliders. If it is not how you want, if it is too big, then change it. Okay, I see a major problem in here right now. The rotation is off. Let's check the rotation of this thing. That's why. The rotation of the grass model is different than the actual rotation of the grass. The rotation of the grass mesh is different than the rotation of the grass model. That is very, very bad. So just set the rotation of your grass mesh to 0. Oop, not on that. Just 0 on the C-frame, and that should fix things up. And then also I'm going to reduce this to 111 because I saw that it was too big. Now let's check it again. So now everything is looking right. The grass is inside the thing. The size of my things are also looking pretty good. And yeah, so before we go inside and check what's working, let's just set the transparency back to 1 and see. Okay, so as we can see, the grass is laying down. It ain't standing up. What's going on? I never played the tween. As I said, I'm still new to scripting, so bear with me. Now let's check it out. So yeah, as you can see, we go in, kind of jiggles a little bit on the way back, which is why I did the elastic one. Like you see how like jiggles a little bit on the way back? That was the main reason. So if it doesn't rotate enough for you, you can always increase the rotation, or you can reduce the time it takes to get to that rotation. That is what I am going to do by making the thing 0.1. Yeah. So yeah, that is going to be it for this tutorial. The grass rotates. Everything's looking good. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that is the end of this tutorial. Everything's looking right. The grass is swaying. It's doing the little jiggle on the way back because we could put that elastic thing on. And yeah, everything is looking good. So if you enjoyed the tutorial, please like, subscribe. That would be well appreciated. And join the Discord server if you want to have a say on the next tutorial. And I think that's about it. Anyways, have a good one and God bless. Toodaloos.